everyone. Never mind. False alarm. I don't know why everybody else who's here with me is over there, but they'll walk over. I'm Angie Shaw with Dallas Mortgage, and sorry, I'm trying to talk to both people or both sides. We are so excited about this venture with Iron Valley. We've known the partners for a long time, and have been fortunate to do business with a bunch of the agents at Iron Valley. We love the concept, and you guys have the best culture there is, hands down. But part of that, our venture is to make sure that we want to come to you as agents and provide relevant training that can help you, expand your market share and just be a little different out there and set yourself apart. So one of the first trainings that we decided to do is TikTok for agents. This is going to be recorded, so anyone who wants a copy of the recording, or if you're like me, I need to look at things over and over and over again. And there's also going to be a slide deck. So just reach out to me. Our cards are out front. My team is here, and I know that if you've been, you've gotten calls over the past couple weeks from one of us. We're all assigned to different agents so that we can make sure that you have great coverage and get any of your questions answered that you might have. Micah Davis is here. Justin, not to be confused with Justin Hobetter, which is really confusing. And then Brent Stahl. Brian Stahl, who's the owner, could not be here today because he's sick or something. We're not sure. He's MIA. But we're going to give it over to April. She works in social media with Messiah College. She has, and she'll tell you a little bit about herself in the presentation, but she's grown her own TikTok to 22,000 followers, which is really a cool thing. And it's a passion of hers, and we're excited to give you this real estate relevant training. She's going to how to set it up and then go from there. So if you guys have any questions after the training, we're going to post a little Q&A after the training. So I think that Terry is not available, but April's going to be the host, so she will be able to field you guys. If you're here and you're not on chat, you can tell Chris, and we'll put all the questions in the chat, April, if that works for you. And we're just going to hand it over to April. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully this will work.
April, will you be able to give people access to the room when they come in also?
I'm not the host, so I'm not.
Yeah, Chris, I'm watching that. I've got that covered for her.
Okay, great.
Okay. Let
Let
me.
me go ahead and mute.
Oh, goodness. All right. I might have to pop off the meeting and come right back on for a second, but give me a moment to do that. Okay, hopefully this will work this time. Yeah, here we go. All right. Can y'all see this slide? Awesome. Okay. Let me present and then I will get started. So today I'm going to be talking about TikTok for real estate. As we all know, First, I'm going to do a little overview of what TikTok is and how you can use it for your business. Then I'm going to talk about some details. I'm not sure y'all's expertise on TikTok if you've ever even used it. So I'm going to keep this very basic. If you have more specific questions, you can ask me at the end or you can email me. But I'm just going to do a very general, how do I create an account? How do I edit a video? So the bare minimum here, the basics. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about strategy and how you can reach your target audience on TikTok. And I'll give you tips for your captions and what hashtags you should use and how to come up with video ideas. And then I'm going to show you 3 examples of TikToks from real estate agents that I think are really good and talk about what we can learn from them. So a little about me before we get started. I was a public relations major in college and a marketing minor. I graduated in 2022 from Messiah University, and now that's where I work. I'm the communications specialist, which really just means I'm a social media manager. I post on Facebook and Instagram every single day for Messiah, and I also do stuff on YouTube, on Snapchat, on Twitter. And then in my free time, I'm also a freelance copywriter. So I write social media captions, newsletters, blogs, and website pages for a few different clients. And then as Angie mentioned, I have over 23,000 followers on TikTok as well. So in this experience, I've learned how to grow an audience based on a niche topic. I just post about my life and anything that interests me. So maybe it'll be just a day in my life video, or it'll be an outfit that I'm wearing, or maybe a craft that I'm working on. Anything that I find interesting, I post about. But I've really enjoyed learning how to use short form video to grow an audience. Overall, I love social media, pop culture, and just thinking about how brands can use these spaces creatively to grow their audience. So what is TikTok and why does it even matter for you guys? TikTok is a short form video sharing app. It's mobile based, so most people use it on their phone. However, there is a web browser version. Users create vertical videos with things like filters, popular sounds and popular songs, voiceovers, and trending formats. Videos of almost any topic are posted there. You would be impressed, like some of the very specific, weird, random videos that people post. But if you think of any random topic, you will find dozens of videos on it on TikTok. The most popular category is entertainment. That makes sense. So things like humor, lifestyle, and beauty, that would all fall under the entertainment genre. But there's also educational content and promotional content. So as you're thinking about what types of videos you should post, you might be able to pull from all of these different genres. And why does it matter? So shopping on TikTok is the new thing. TikTok recently created what they call the TikTok Shop, which is where you can buy products right in the app and you can link to them from videos. It's almost like a competitor to Amazon in the sense where it's all in one place and everyone will go there to buy a product. And there's a stat that says that 49% of people have bought a product or service after seeing it in a video on TikTok. And so that just shows that more and more people are going there with that mindset, ready to buy, ready to find a new product or a new service. They're ready to be influenced. And so I think you can really capitalize on that for your own marketing purposes. Another reason TikTok is really important is because it makes it a lot easier to go viral than it would for any other social media. And the reason it does this is through the For You page. So when you open Instagram or Facebook, typically what you see when you open the app is posts from the people that you follow, posts from your friends. And while that's great, it helps to build community. It also really limits the reach of your posts because they're only serving them up to the people who follow you. But TikTok does the opposite. So when you open up the app, you land on the For You page, which is full of videos from people that you don't follow. It's full of random videos that TikTok thinks you will like based on your past history in the app. So think, what other videos have you watched? What other videos have you liked and commented on? And then TikTok will start sending you more and more like that. And that will help you as someone who might be making TikToks in the future. It will help them get more reach because TikTok is going to be sending them out to people that it thinks will watch your real estate content. You can also reuse your TikTok videos. So they don't just have to live on the app. You can repost them onto things like Instagram Reels or Facebook Reels or YouTube Shorts. All of those are just TikTok copycats. I might talk about them a little bit later, but you can use the exact same strategy for TikTok as you would for these other copycats. There's also some really compelling demographics for TikTok and why your audience may be there and why you should want to reach them there. So I will talk about that on this next slide. So first of all, TikTok is not just for Gen Z. I know a lot of people, when they think about TikTok, the first thing they think of is dance videos and teenagers. And while there is a lot of dance videos and a lot of teenagers, on the app, that's not all that it is. Actually, 53% of TikTok users are over the age of 30. So if you think that the people that you'd want to attract are in that category, well, over half of them are over the age of 30. So you should consider thinking about how you can reach them on TikTok where they're at. There is over 1 billion active global users on TikTok. And then in the US, there's 150 million. So obviously a lot of people are on it, and you should really consider how you can try to reach them. It's the 6th most popular platform behind things like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp. And the average time spent on the app per day is 55 minutes. So almost an hour people will spend on TikTok. And there's a lot of shopping you can do in that time, right? There's a lot of ways that you can find new brands, find new services that you want to invest in. And as I mentioned before, 49% have bought a product or service from a TikTok. There's a very popular hashtag TikTok made me buy it, which it just goes to show that it's very easy for a product or a service or even a creator to go viral, and for everyone to kind of decide, yes, I want to try this. I want to invest in it. I want to buy it. And I just think it's fascinating to see how TikTok is transitioning from simply entertainment to now leaning into shopping, and how you can capitalize on that. TikTok is also being used as a search engine more and more. So I think this is more common for young people, but obviously anyone on TikTok has the opportunity to do this, where instead of going to Google and searching your question, people actually go to TikTok, because the responses they're getting are going to be actual videos where people can maybe show off the product or really explain and give like a good review of something. So TikTok as a search engine is really important. So if you ever invest time on your website trying to get people to find you there, invest some of that time on TikTok as well, because it's becoming another really popular way people find new products and services. So here's some basics. First, I'm going to talk about what types of videos are on TikTok. So the first type is you can just film a video in the app. You can also upload a video from your camera roll that you've already filmed and edited. You can also do what's called a duet and a stitch, which are just 2 ways of reacting to an original video. So it'll play a clip from the original and then it'll play your video. You can also do a live stream. However, lives are not available to everyone. You have to have a certain number of followers. So that might not even be something you ever get to, but I wanted to let you know that it is available for some people. You can also reply to a comment with a video. So I think that could be really useful for you to remember to use. So if someone had a question in one of your videos, like, oh, does the bathroom of that one house you showed us have like XYZ feature? Instead of just typing out your answer, you can do a more interactive response and post a whole video about it and really show off your answer instead of it just being a simple word that you type out. So what does well on TikTok? The first thing you need to know about is trends. Trends can be anything from using a popular song, a popular filter, or a popular template. If you are able to incorporate some sort of trending content with your real estate content, that is the one way I recommend helping more people get eyes on your video. That is the one key thing you can do to give your video more reach. The most popular types of videos, as I mentioned before, number 1 is entertainment. Number 2 is dance. Number 3 are prank videos. 4 is fitness and sports, and then 5 is DIY and home renovation. So again, I'm not saying you need to go out there and start dancing on camera. If you're not comfortable with that, you absolutely don't have to. But I think it's really interesting to consider when you're going to post something about real estate, how can you maybe incorporate one of these top categories into your video somehow? Is there a way that you can incorporate something trending in it? I think when you're able to combine your more informative, maybe promotional real estate content with what's natural in the app, what does well, that is how you succeed. Some other features on the app to know about is 1, the audio library. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of songs on there, and you're able to use them in any of your videos if you want to, so you will have a lot of options for that. There's also filters. So some of them are the kind of filters where it distorts your face. They're kind of silly. You might have seen them before. But there's also other kinds of filters. Some of them are games. Some of them are quizzes, like what Disney character are you? So sometimes a filter will go viral and a lot of people will be using it. And maybe you can capitalize on that and use it in your own video somehow. There's also the TikTok shop, which I talked about. You have the ability to post for up to a few seconds or even up to 10 minutes. And I do not recommend going all the way up to 10 minutes. If you're considering posting a long video like that, I would recommend putting that on YouTube instead. I would say keeping it under 1 minute is ideal. 30 seconds is probably a better goal to hit for. But again, if you have a lot to say and you really do want to share it on TikTok, you're totally allowed to go over that, but 10 minutes is your max. You can also post just plain photos on TikTok, and you can do a text post, which is just words, no photo, no video. TikTok also has stories, which they're not as popular as a regular video that you post to your account, but it's similar to an Instagram story, if you've seen that before, where it just disappears after 24 hours. So you can totally try out stories if you want to, but because they're temporary, I wouldn't invest nearly as much time in that. TikTok versus other videos. So as I mentioned before, YouTube to me seems like it's best for long form video. YouTube is also typically horizontal, where TikToks are vertical videos. So if you have a 5, 10, 15-minute video, I recommend putting that on YouTube. However, YouTube Shorts is the TikTok copycat of, it's like the TikTok version, or the YouTube version of TikTok, excuse me. So I think you can 100% just use the same videos you use on TikTok, put them on YouTube Shorts. Now, there's also maybe marketing videos that you've seen in the past, either from a company you've worked for or just other brands you've seen on TV. And these are more polished, edited, scripted, and these have a really great purpose, but I would actually recommend taking a very opposite strategy with TikTok. TikTok really promotes videos that are more casual, that are authentic, that shows someone's face in front of the camera, shows someone being themselves. And so I think that in order for you to do well, you need to be comfortable in front of the camera, talking on camera and just being yourself. Don't be afraid to crack a few jokes. It doesn't always have to be super professional and super polished and perfect. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about creating a business account versus other types of accounts, and why maybe you should consider doing a business account. So first of all, it is totally free to sign up for a business account, and it gives you access to things like ads, analytics, and other tools. So if you have it in your budget to maybe post an ad, you can only do that with a business account. And again, analytics. I will talk more about those on a different slide, but if you're interested in using data to like drive your strategy, I think having a business account is a great way to go. It also allows you to make an e-commerce storefront, and you can connect third-party tools to your account so that you can manage and schedule your videos. So if you don't want to have to log in every day to post the video, if you just want to schedule it a few weeks in advance and then be like, all right, I'm done, having a business account is helpful because you can connect it to some third-party tools that can do all that for you. And it also allows you to add a website link in your bio, which I think would be great for you guys too, if you want to send them to your website, or maybe even send them to like a link to sign up for an email newsletter, whatever you want to send them to. Putting a website link in there is really helpful. However, there is one con. Because you're a business account, that means you have limited access to the full sound library. This just has to do with things like copyright issues and commercial versus non-commercial audio. So as a business, you then wouldn't be allowed to use some of the more popular songs because you just don't have the rights to use them for a marketing material. So just something to keep in mind. I'm not saying that one's better than the other, but I think there's pros and cons to go both ways. How to set up an account. 1, download TikTok, create a new account. It's pretty easy. I don't think you'll have trouble figuring it out. After you make that account, go to your TikTok profile, and there will be a menu in the top right corner. You click on that, tap settings and privacy, tap manage accounts, and then if you choose to, you tap switch to a business account, and that is how you set up your business account. Then after that, it will ask you to choose a category that best corresponds to your business type. So again, you can do that if you get to that point. Once you make your account, now it's important to edit it and to brand it. So you're going to click edit profile, and then you're going to fill everything out. And so if we look at the screenshot on the right, I'm going to talk about what I think she does really well in her profile and why I used it as an example for you guys. So first of all, she has her profile photo. It's a photo of her face. It's a high quality photo. She looks nice. You can easily see what she looks like. And then she has her name at the top, Alexis. And then she has her username. And what I love about her username.
Yeah, we have a 2:00 appointment.
Oh, okay.
And what I like about her username is that it's not just a repeat of her name, but she actually incorporates a lot of good keywords into it. So her username is @VA Real Estate Agent. So right off the bat, you know what she does and where she's located. And I think that's a really great way to set it up so that people immediately know who you are and why they should be interested in following you. You can also include things like pronouns and then other facts you want in your bio. So again, she puts real estate, like the real estate place she works for. She puts Virginia. She puts other stuff about her. Incorporating those keywords in your username and bio is really important. You can also include an email. You can add a link, which Alexis has there. And you can also connect your other social accounts. So she connected her Instagram. And so if you were to click on that button, it would take you to the Instagram app and go right to her profile. So now I'm gonna show you a video on how to edit a TikTok. I put this in because I did a screen recording and I did a voiceover for it. And I did test it on Zoom and the audio worked. So hopefully it works this time. But if you don't hear anything on the video, someone let me know. I'll try to do it a different way, but hopefully you will hear me doing a voiceover on this next slide. To film a TikTok, the first thing you're gonna do is click the plus button at the bottom. Now you have the option to film in the app. You can take a photo, or you can do just a text post, or you can film for 15 seconds, 60 seconds, or even up to 10 minutes. In the bottom left, there's effects and filters. For this example, I'm going to upload videos from my camera roll, and I'm going to show you how I would film a transition video. I'm going to snap my fingers and transition from one clip to another. So first, click edit in the bottom left. The first thing I want to do here is change the order of the clips. So to do that, scroll to the clip you want to be first, hold down on it, and now you can move it wherever you want. Now that it's first, I'm going to adjust the length. So click on the clip until you see the white border, and then you can drag it to be however long you want. I'm going to end the clip right as I snap. Now for the second clip, I'm going to start that right after I snap. That way there will be a clean transition from the first clip to the second. Now I'm going to scroll to the beginning and click play so I can watch it back and see how it looks. And below your clips, you can click the add sound button if you want to add music. I'm not going to add any to this example, but there are lots of songs to choose from. When you're done, click save in the top right. Now to move on to actually post it, we click next in the bottom right corner. Here you can type your caption, and then you can add your hashtags. You can click on the hashtag button in the bottom left, and then just start typing. And TikTok will recommend hashtags for you, and it'll also show how many views they each have. Then on the right, we can select a cover for our video. We can choose from any frame in the video, or we can choose to add text and give it a title. Click save, and then you can add a location, or you can adjust the privacy settings of the video. Now you're ready to either post or save to your drafts. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. I know I ran through that very quickly, but I just wanted to show some of the basics of, how to quickly edit some clips together, where to put your caption, hashtags, stuff like that. So I'm sure as you go to explore TikTok on your own, you will find a lot of other features that you can use. And it's pretty self-explanatory once you get into the app and you just start testing things out. So always just go on yourself, try it out. And there's a million tutorials on YouTube. If you have a really specific question of how to do something, I'm sure someone out there has posted it and you can get a clear answer of how to do something on TikTok. So I'm going to go through some of the details of the features I just mentioned. So the first thing is audio. When it comes to audio, there's a lot of different types. There's songs, like, songs you hear on the radio, that's pretty standard. But there's also sound bites that you can use as an audio. Maybe it was a clip from some TV show or maybe an interview that kind of went viral. So that sound bite might be a sound that you can add over top your video. There's also remixes and mashups of popular songs that you can use. So there's a lot of variety of options, and that can be really fun to explore. A reminder, though, that business accounts are limited in what you can use. There are still a lot of commercially available audio for you to use, but you are limited in some of these. Overall, my main recommendation with audio is just focus on what's trending, and that is a really great place to start. Go find a trending song, pop it on as the background of your video, and you're good to go. Text and captions, the biggest thing here is whenever you are including words, try to make them keywords so that people know who you are and why you're important and what you do. So some of these keywords would be real estate agent, realtor, It could be keywords about your location, like Central PA, Harrisburg, PA, wherever you're located, whatever location you're trying to target, include those in your keywords. You should also consider answering customers' potential questions or answering your leads' potential questions. So think about what they might be typing into TikTok, into the search bar. Like, what questions about real estate are they asking? And how can you answer that? How can you include the specific words of that question and like the words of the answer? And that will help TikTok feed your video to the right people. There's also hashtags. Now, these are just used to categorize your video, and it helps to increase visibility. Again, because of the For You page, when you categorize your video as real estate related, it will give that to viewers that they know are interested in that topic. And this will just boost engagement overall, and it's an easy way to help get more eyes on your video. Hashtags also build community, and it's a great way to identify competitors. So if you can look up who else is using this hashtag. Maybe you have the hashtag Pennsylvania real estate agent. See who else is using that hashtag, and then you will find competitors in your space that you can learn from, that you can get inspired by, or just connect with and network with. It's also a great way to get ideas and jump on trends, because sometimes a specific trend will have a corresponding hashtag to it, and then you can use that in your video. When it comes to comments, these are pretty simple. You can comment on your own video, and obviously other people can comment on yours as well. You can limit comments if you want to. I don't recommend doing that unless you're having issues and people saying mean and inappropriate things. But overall, having your comments open is a great way to build trust and like answer questions with your followers. So I recommend keeping your comments open as much as you can. I also recommend liking and replying to comments as much as possible and answering questions, always monitoring that to make sure you know what's going on in the comments of your video. And you can reply to one using a video, which I talked about before, and I think it's a really useful tool that TikTok added. And I think there's a lot that you can do with that feature. And you can also pin a comment. So if you like what someone says, you can pin it to the top. So everyone who opens the comment section will see that comment first. Now, reusing content. It's really easy to do once you post a TikTok and you're like, oh, I wish I posted that to Instagram Reels as well. Well, you can totally still do that. So go to the video. There will be 3 dots on the right. You click that. Then there's a save video button at the bottom. That will save your TikTok to your camera roll. And from there, you can upload it to Instagram, to YouTube Shorts, to whatever you want. And that way, you're not just using the video once and then you're done with it, but you're using it on all these other platforms and you're giving it more life and you're giving it more reach. Now, when you're thinking about, well, what actually do I post? How do I come up with these ideas? Like, what would be helpful for me? Here are some of my tips and even some specific ideas. First of all, you need to know your audience, know like who they are and what they're looking for on TikTok. What questions do they have and how can you answer that for them? I recommend posting a mix of informative and entertaining content. Obviously informative so that people can learn from you. They know who you are, what you have to offer in the real estate business, and maybe certain properties that you have open, and maybe you're looking for new leads, all stuff like that. But you also want to be entertaining because, again, that is what does the best on TikTok. And typically an entertaining, a silly, a funny video will get more views than a more boring one. So if you can do a mix, that way you are still providing value, but you're also being fun and you're giving people a reason to want to follow you more. Think about what makes you unique and how can you showcase that in a video. Think about your expertise and show why people should listen to you. Overall, authenticity is key. Being yourself, showing up on camera, having good energy, that's always really important. The biggest tip, and this is easy, is just scroll on your For You page. Just take a few minutes out of your day, scroll, see what videos come up for you. And if you notice, maybe there's one song several of them have used, that's probably a trending song, and then you can consider using that in your own video. Or maybe there's a joke that a lot of these videos are all making. How can you capitalize on that and use that in your own video as well? And TikTok also has what's called the Discover page. This is another really good tool for you guys, where it's just a list of everything TikTok thinks is trending. There will be songs, there'll be creators, there'll be videos, there'll be hashtags. So going on there is a really quick way to get an overview of what's trending, and you can try to pull from that and use these different things in your video. So when it comes to specific ideas, I always say, see what does well and repeat it. So post a lot of different videos, try things out. That's totally okay if something flops, there's no worries there. But when you find something that does really well, try to repeat that over and over and see if you can continue to use that idea and grow your audience. So some specific ideas you might want to consider posting about. One could just be an introduction. This is a great first video because no one knows who you are yet. So if you do a little video saying who you are, some of your background, what you're like looking to get out of TikTok even, you can then pin that to your profile. So that will be the first video people can choose to watch when they see your page. You can also do something like 5 things I wish I knew. And that could be 5 things I wish I knew before I took the real estate exam, 5 things I wish I knew before buying a house for the first time. It can be a lot of different things, showcasing your expertise, but also providing value to potential viewers by answering questions and giving out information about real estate. You can do a day in the life video. When I was doing my research for this, those were very, very popular among real estate agents. So that's something you can consider. You can also do a property tour. And I think that we will watch an example of that later on, but I think that's a really great idea as well. And overall, it's not too difficult to put together. You can also show off the area. So if you're doing a property tour, you don't just have to show one house, one location. You can show off the neighborhood and the general city and the area you're trying to attract people to. So these are just some good ideas, I think, when you're starting to think about, okay, I want to use TikTok, but I have no idea what to post. Here's some starting points. Another great way to stay organized when it comes to TikTok or posting on social media at all is creating a content calendar. So you can do this, you can have a weekly one or a monthly one, depending on how far ahead you want to plan. I apologize if you hear a train in the background. There's one right outside my window. But I, who works in social media for my job, I only plan ahead one week. To me, like looking ahead a whole month, that's just very overwhelming to me. So I keep it short. I do it 1 week at a time. And if that's your style, like that's what I do too. So I understand, but if you want to be even more organized and plan a month ahead, good on you. But how often should you post? TikTok recommends 1 to 4 times a day. And I know that's a very scary number, especially for someone starting out who's maybe never done this before. So I suggest more like 2 to 3 times a week. If you find that you really enjoy TikTok and it's doing well and you really want to grow your account, then you can ramp it up and start doing more like every day. But to start off with, 2 times a week is probably a good starting point. The most important thing is being consistent. You don't just want to post a few times and then let it go quiet for months, because again, you're not going to build an audience that way. So if you are going to start a TikTok account, I recommend sticking to it, posting consistently 2 to 3 times a week if you can. And that'll be a good way to build this into something that's actually productive for your business. You can also consider ads and incorporate them into your content calendar if you choose. Again, they cost money, so that might not be available to everyone, but it's something to consider. You should also try to do a variety of content during the week. So maybe the way you do this is you stick to a schedule. Maybe on Mondays, you're like, okay, Monday, I'm going to do a property tour. And then on Fridays, every week, I'm just going to do something kind of fun and silly and entertaining. It's going to be something trending. And that way you always know at least the topic that you're going to post about, even if you don't have the specific video. And that just is one way to keep you organized and plan ahead. When it comes to scheduling posts, it's also pretty simple. However, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. So I'm just going to run through some quick ones for you. The first way is with TikTok itself. However, you can't do it on the app. You can only schedule a post on the web browser version. So you would have to go on a computer and do it that way and upload your video onto the computer. There's also like a million third-party platforms you can use. I listed 3 here that I've either heard a lot about or I've personally used. So I recommend starting with these, but there's a lot of others too. So it's not just these 3. Most of them have a free version and then you can upgrade to paid. So you can always test it out, do the free version, see if you like it. And then if you want more tools and more like analytic options, you can pay to have that. But there's really no need to pay right off the bat. Doing the free version is often totally adequate. Okay, strategy. So here's where we get to the good stuff. First, I'll talk about captions. So you have a 2,200 character limit. That's actually a new addition. It used to be about 300 characters, but TikTok very recently said, no, you can get like a whole page. Now, just because you have 2,000 characters does not mean you should use it. And this is mostly because while you might have, again, like a lot of space to write your caption, it's only going to show a viewer the first like few words, the first small portion of it. So you really need to utilize that first sentence to hook your audience, and then they'll have to click a see more button in order to read the rest of the caption. And realistically, most people probably are not going to click on the see more button. So if you have your essential information at the end of your caption, a lot of people won't even read it. So putting that first, hooking your audience, that's how you should really use your captions. And then again, if you need to add more details later on, you can, but remember to focus on the beginning part of your caption, and you want it to complement the topic of the video. It shouldn't just be unrelated and random, like make sure it coordinates to whatever you posted about. And as I've mentioned several times, keywords are important. So including any keywords where you can in your caption is a really great idea. I also recommend including a call to action. This doesn't have to be on every video, but where it's natural, that's a great way to encourage people to take a specific action. Maybe you want them to click on the link in your bio, or maybe you want everyone to comment something on your video, or you want them to like head to your profile, give you a follow. Anything like that, putting that in your caption just makes it more likely that someone will actually take that next step and do whatever action you want them to. The last place that people use captions for is to credit ideas. So maybe you see another real estate agent post a really creative video and you're like, oh, I love that idea. I want to do it for myself. I want to kind of recreate that. It's always proper courtesy to tag the original creator and say that you got their idea from them. So it can just be as simple as idea by, and then you tag them. So that's just one thing to keep in mind as you're going about posting videos, that if you do get inspired by someone, it never hurts to give them credit. Now, hashtags. Honestly, you can post as many as you like. I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing hundreds and hundreds, but if you want to do 10, 15, 20, like go right ahead. I would recommend using hashtags that have a relatively high post count, which just means that people are actually watching for and searching for that hashtag. So it's actually going to help you get more reach. And you can find posts like this or hashtags like this in the Discover tab, which I talked about before. You can also consider doing a mix of more niche hashtags and the more general trending ones. So in the next column, you see that there's the hashtag real estate agent. Now that has 3.5 billion views under it. That's huge, right? Because it's a very general hashtag. There's nothing too specific about it. But as you start narrowing it down, you see that the view amounts will decrease. So next, we get a little bit more specific. Okay, hashtag PA real estate. That only has 5 million. Okay, that's a little bit better. And the next one is Pennsylvania realtor. Okay, now we're under 1 million. That's good. That's good. And then we have hashtag Pennsylvania real estate agent. That one only has 52,000 views, and that's actually a really good number. That's a good sweet spot to aim for, because 52,000, that's still a lot of people. The hashtag is being used, it's being watched, but it's not so overwhelming as 3 billion. So if you can use some more general hashtags and then mix it up with some more specific ones about your location or something specific that you're focusing on in that video, that's a good way to balance the two. You can always search for new hashtags and try to expand that way, and then explore your competition. See what other people in your space, what hashtags they're using, and then take them for yourself if you want. If you're like, oh, that's a great hashtag, just pop it on your next video. And then I'm going to quickly talk about accessibility. So I always recommend, if there is someone speaking in your video, that you include closed captioning. This is really easy to do on TikTok because it's auto-generated. It will detect what words you're saying and it'll type out the closed captioning for you. Now, like with all tools like this, it's not always perfect. So if you do choose to add the captions, always read them over beforehand, edit them if you need to, make sure the words are spelled right, but it should be pretty easy to use, and that just helps your video get more reach. I know personally when I'm scrolling, I always prefer if a video has captions, and sometimes I'll even scroll past one that doesn't, just because if I'm in a public place and I don't want my volume on all the way, I just rely a lot on the captions. And if you don't have that, I might just skip your video. So always keep that in mind, how you can be more accessible to people, even in small, easy steps like this. And then I'm going to quickly talk about using AI for your marketing. So I know everyone's talking about ChatGPT nowadays and how it's maybe taking everyone's jobs, or how you can at least utilize it for your own business. So the first thing you can use it for is getting video ideas. You can also get hashtag ideas. You can ask it to write creative captions for you. I've done that for my job. I will ask it to write a funny caption or include a pun in the caption. And it does a really great job of giving you at least a starting point for something, even if you don't want to use its ideas word for word. I think using that as a foundation to, as a brainstorming tool, right, to get new ideas is really useful. You can also ask it for some insight into your audience and see maybe if it has good ideas of what it thinks your target audience is searching for on TikTok and what they want to see on TikTok. So then how do you use it? It's very simple. You just create an account with OpenAI. It'll ask you to verify your email, and then you fill out your name and personal info like that. And then it's going to give you 3 options of what program you want to use. Click ChatGPT if that's the one you want to use, and then ask away. So I asked ChatGPT, what are some TikTok ideas for a real estate agent? And you can see in the screenshot some of the answers it gave me. In about 5 seconds, it gave me over 20 answers and over 20 ideas for TikToks. So this is a really, really great way to start coming up with ideas for videos. So I'm going to run through a few of the ones that it gave me. One is property tour, which I've talked about a bit. You can highlight key features of a house and share interesting facts about it. You can also do a before and after video. So maybe show a property transformation. Any sort of transition or before and after transformation video are very popular in TikTok. I see them all the time, and they can be pretty easy to do. Just take one clip before, one clip after, and just showing such a big transformation. Like, people are so excited to see a huge change. And that's a really great way to show off maybe a property you have on the market. You can also do a neighborhood tour or share a client testimonial. I think those are great ideas as well. You can do a Q&A session. It can be live if you ever have that ability to get live, or you can just do a traditional sort of video Q&A. You can give tips for home buyers or even other people if you think of it. So these are just some really quick ideas ChatGPT gave me. There's a lot more you can dive into with it. I'm sure it can give you obviously the answer to almost any question. So I recommend just playing with that and seeing how you can use it for your marketing purposes. There's a lot that you can do with it for sure. So now I'm going to talk about analytics and why you would want to use them. So as you know, you can only have access to analytics if you are a business account. Otherwise, you won't even have the option to view them and to see them. And the reason that I recommend using analytics is because it gives you a data-driven content strategy. This way, you're not just posting willy-nilly kind of randomly. You're actually using specific data to determine what videos you're going to post and what kind of content you want to post about. And that just helps your videos do better because you have a good reason and a strong foundation for why you're doing something. It's also a way to connect with your target audience because you can view demographics about them. You can see where their age, their gender, their location, and that might help you connect with them more because you can actually keep them in mind as you post. And it just gives you proof on your return on investment. And you're spending all this time filming, editing videos, coming up with ideas. You want proof that it's actually doing something, and analytics are a great way to find that. So how do I access them? How do I use them? Go to your profile, you click on the menu in the top right, then you'll click on Creator Tools, and then click on Analytics. And then once you do that, it's going to give you 4 tabs. There will be an Overview tab, a Content tab, a Followers tab, and then Live Video. And under all these tabs, there's all these subcategories. There's a lot that you can explore within your analytics. I find it super fun to see who my followers are and where they're located. I'll be like, oh, 10% of my followers are in Germany. That's crazy. Who would have thought, right? It's really interesting to see who you're attracting and who is following you. And you'll see things like video views, profile views, follower demographics. You can even see your follower growth rate, and you can see how fast your account is growing, which that can be really encouraging sometimes. And something that's really useful the analytics gives you is it will show you most active times. So it'll say when your followers are most active on TikTok. And what I always say is that maybe your followers are most active 8 p.m. on a Wednesday. I recommend posting your videos 8 p.m. on a Wednesday. Because with TikTok, you want to get the most views in the quickest amount of time. And so posting when your followers are already online is the best way to do that. So that's a really great stat that can be super useful for you as well. And then they also will tell you average watch times. And I recommend looking at this one because maybe you'll find that your average watch time is 20 seconds. But then you're out here posting a minute and a half long videos. that will be a clue to you. Oh, people tend to then not watch my video all the way to the end. So if you see that your average watch time is really, really low, I recommend shortening the length of your videos and trying to have people watch them all the way through. So now we are going to watch a few TikToks and see what we can learn from them. Same audio disclaimer as before. I tested this, the audio worked, but if you don't hear any sound, just pretend there's a really fun song in the background because it should be there. So we're gonna watch the first one.
You wouldn't so important, nobody like you do. I can just snooze and miss the moment. You're just so important. Nobody like you do. You do. In a top top right with you, I feel like Scarface. The way with the vibe, I be your main one. You want to take this argument back up to my place. Sex remind you I'm not violent, I'm your day one. We had to, yeah. It was magic, yeah. Smashing grabs.
All right, so if we look on these numbers on the left, this video had over 200,000 views, 18,000 likes, over 300 comments, and almost 2,000 shares. And overall, it was just a simple property tour. Like there's nothing that crazy or special about it, but it got really high engagement. And I think for me, the one reason it did that is because of the song that this creator used. It was a trending song from a popular artist on their new album, and just throwing that song into the background gives it more reach because that is a popular song at the time, and a lot of people were watching videos with that song. This is also a very easy video that y'all could recreate. You could just shoot this on an iPhone and edit it together very quickly. It doesn't have anything fancy or crazy in there, and I think it's a kind of realistic video that you guys could create for your own accounts.
Can I get this? No. Can I get this? No. Can I get this? Look, if you don't start misbehaving, that man over there is gonna take you.
So this video is a different style of video, obviously. Instead of being more informative, it's using humor. It falls under the entertainment category, which I've said is the most popular category on TikTok. So because it included a relatable joke, it got over 1 million views, 120,000 likes, 1,200 comments, and 3,600 shares. Again, this just goes to show that entertainment and humor is really what connects with an audience. So when you're able to combine a more informative video and then also have stuff on your account that's just fun and silly, that is a really great sweet spot to have. Another thing I like about this video is that they used a trending like voice filter in the background. You might have noticed like the voice sounded kind of funny. That's because she used a filter over top of it. And when you use features built into TikTok, I think that it recommends your video to more people. So using things like sound effects and voice filters you can have a lot of fun with it, and it helps your video do better. So I think we're gonna have one more example and then I'm pretty much done.
Hey, I'm Monica, a real estate agent in Seattle, and here are some of the weird things that I saw in homes this week. First off, we had this great rooftop deck with a skylight that looked right into the primary bathroom, right to the toilet. Yikes. Then this scary, ghostly Halloween setup on someone's townhouse roof. Nope, it's not October, it's April. Back to weird bathrooms. This was an open concept bathroom. Literally no walls. No walls, no privacy. What the heck? This cabinet opened up to nothing. I think it's supposed to be trash pullout, but they just literally didn't finish it. Always open the cabinets, guys. This closet, I don't know if you can tell, it's like 4 inches in depth. What is the literal point of it? This water heater seems cool in theory, built into the wall, but what if a pipe bursts and you have to break the drywall? And then this was a book in a house. Yeah, a gynecologist's second opinion.
So what I like about this video is that she's clearly just having fun with it. It's just a reminder that, again, not everything has to be uber professional and polished, but just being a little bit more silly, showing your personality in unique ways helps a video do super well. So this one had over 200,000 views, 17.5 thousand likes, 38 comments, and over 200 shares. And I like that she does something creative, and she uses creative ways to maybe show off a property or to show off what her day looks like and what are some fun things that she does throughout her day and what kind of things that she sees. So getting creative, being authentic, and not being afraid to be silly and maybe make some jokes is something I always recommend. All right, here are a few more resources for you if you're interested in learning more. There are some really great blogs out there, specifically from Hootsuite and Sprout Social. Both of those are social media scheduling platforms. I really trust them. They have some very specific blogs about TikTok marketing for businesses, and they have step-by-steps of how to make videos and how to post them. So if you want some more details and some more information, I recommend going to their blogs. They have a lot of topics that they write about, and they're really useful. There's also an email newsletter called Future Social. It comes out once a week, and the man who writes it, he just does analysis of brands and how they use social media, and then he gives tips for anyone interested in social media marketing. So that's another great resource if you're interested. When it comes to creators to watch on TikTok, here are 3 real estate agents that I think are doing a great job. We watched videos from 2 of them, and then there's a third that I didn't include in the examples just now, but if you want to look them up on TikTok, those are their handles. And then the last one, which I think is a very, very useful resource for you. It's from Later, which is also a social media scheduling platform, and it's their What's Trending blog. So they update it every week, and they show what sounds, what jokes, what songs, what videos, what creators are trending on TikTok. So if you are not interested at all in scrolling through TikTok to find out what's trending, you can just check out this website, and they will update it every week, and you can pull from that to use in your video. So that's all I have. If you have any questions, I guess you can ask me now or email me after this, but I will stop sharing my screen and then we can chat, I guess.
That was one of the best trainings I've seen, not just on, social media stuff. That was very well put together. Thanks, April.
Thank you.
So are you able to see the chat? If there's any questions online?
Yes, I can see the chat.
Okay, good. So we all, just like I mentioned in the beginning, we do have a slide deck. If you feel like you just drank from a fire hose and you're like, oh my God, how am I even gonna do this? So this was a really comprehensive training. So if you go back through the video and say, okay, now I'm gonna set up my TikTok account. And it is really much easier than, sitting here absorbing all of the steps all at once. And then also we're going to provide the video as well, access to the video for anyone that took the training, and then the slide stack so that you can kind of reference it. But TikTok is a really great way, like April said, to reach your micro audience, as well as people from around the country that are looking to move here. So if you get a couple videos to go viral, and there's so many different topics and topics that are trending like she talked about. But does anybody have any questions right now?
What about using an Android? Could they talk a lot about using your iPhone for videos?
Yeah, April, did you hear that?
Yeah, so I personally have an iPhone, and so that's all I've ever had. That's all I've personally used, but I do think the steps are very similar for an Android. Unfortunately, I can't give too many tips on that just because I've never used an Android. I don't have one, but if you Google it, there are people who have Androids and will give you the step-by-step instructions for an Android. Unfortunately, I am not the best person to ask for that.
They're just not as good.
Piece of cake.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, but
Watch it.
So do we have any volunteers for anyone that's in the training to jump off the cliff and make a first TikTok?
No, but but I do appreciate how you broke it down. TikTok for dummies. I think that was, I really do appreciate the simplicity of it and where we can basically start, though. Thank you very much.
of course.
All right, what about this? What if we challenge the owners to create a TikTok account for the central, Iron Valley of.
It's actually against company policy.
Oh, yeah. I think today's the day to break that.
Just show of hands,
Works
who
for
has
me.
TikTok already? Mike, Sharon,
I'm not 2 or 3 times a year.
It is kind of crazy what the research that we've done, that we've seen and heard that people are getting, in their DMs on TikTok, inquiries and things like that. So it is another branch of a way to get referrals and exposure, and people can go on TikTok if you list the link, kind of learn your personality and things like that.
Like, I may post, but there is 0% chance that I will follow up on comments.
Okay, so
Well,
I
you
guess,
can put that in the comments then.
Well, one of the things Justin has said in meetings before, and I think a lot of us know this already, is if you're just relying on your signs and yards to get business, or just on Facebook, that the more areas you're in, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, the more you put yourself out there, the more business it's going to come to you. So this is just another avenue with which you to get business. Terry wants you to email that stuff to her, and she'll get it out to the office.
And I poke fun a lot. We need to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and this is one of those areas that I need to jump out into, and I recognize that, and that's where the growth happens, is whenever we jump out into it. So thanks again for breaking that down and making it digestible in bite-sized pieces.
And I will say it gets easier to be on camera. I know at first you might feel awkward and you're not sure what to do or what to do with your hands, but the more you do it, the more you practice, the more you post, it'll get easier. So don't be afraid.
Yeah, I think everybody knows Christy's on TikTok all the time, and some of her most popular videos have been so stupid.
Awkward.
Yep. What was the one? Was a cat meowing or something? I don't know. It was what was the song she was going, Justin?
Mashed potato.
Mashed potatoes. Yeah.
I know.
It's really bad. But those kind of things bring you a lot of awareness, even though they're not necessarily about business, but that's who she is, and her uniqueness is what brings her business.
Yeah, so there's equal parts talking about your business and then just showing who you are and being yourself, being authentic. So even if it's silly and not even related to real estate, like don't be afraid to post that too.
Like Justin dancing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Great.
That's it. Everybody loves it.
Question for.
Speak up, Mike.
Chris. In relation to filming in houses that are not your listings, or even maybe your listings, what does the real estate world say about that? Because I see a lot of agents posting the showing I'm doing.
I would say that we need permission to be posting photographs. I would go ahead and make a blanket statement that if it's our listing, you're probably going to get away with it. I would give a shout out to the listing agent. But if you are on a showing in a competing or cooperating broker's listing, you should not do that without getting a heads up.
But even like there's like small little clips that she was like, look at this cabin door,
like look at this broke thing in this listing I'm showing. That could get you some negative blowback. Like, look at this trash house. Yeah, not going to go over well.
Yeah, so obviously I am not in the real estate business at all, and you know the rules, you know what tends to be frowned upon and not frowned upon. So even if you see one of the examples I gave, you're like, oh, I would never post a video like that. Just what can you learn from it? What can you take from that video? Even if you don't want to, trash the house you're showing, you can still just remember to be fun and to do something that's unique and creative. So even if, again, that specific video, you're like, oh, I don't know if I would ever get away with that. That's okay. What else can you learn from it?
Oh, and a quick shout out to all the haters in the world. If you need to know how to stay real estate commission advertising compliant, give me a call, because we still need to stay real estate commission advertising compliant. Right? So we need to be within a click of brokerage information. It's not that I care, it's that the people who don't like you care. And I know that you're not going to go out there and do anything to harm us. It's that you're making yourself and us a target by not staying compliant. So make sure you have all that in your bio or within a click, you know, as much as possible.
Having everything on a URL that you can pop in a corner takes care of that. It's just really easy.
So it's a brave new world. We need to figure out ways to stay compliant.
So at a minimum, Justin, what needs to be in there on a thing where there's a very small bite?
If we're putting ourselves out there as a realtor, as a real estate agent, this is advertising, right? This is meant to get us business. So that puts us in the realm of, you know, that we need to be compliant. So if we're trying to do that, we need to be within one click of your brokerage information. That's office phone number or website. So if your phone number's there, it has to be an office phone number. So,
Website.
yeah, I think if you just put the website and brokerage name, you'll be good. So.
That's why I
I'm
like
always
the
happy unless somebody's making you guys unhappy.
I just wanted to mention how I got comfortable making videos was when I did a virtual house tour. Because you have a limited audience, but you have to describe and go into detail and be able to create the smell and the things that you can only see through a picture. And then walk through describing each area and then asking if they comprehend it. And that's how I got comfortable with making a fool of myself on the internet.
Thanks, Sue.
All right.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you so much.
We'll get
Thanks,
everything
April.
out to
Thank you.
Hey, everybody.